Alright, there's my new truck. So here's what we got going on. B275 sitting there running, getting warmed up, getting ready to rake some hay. Got the big trailer here the other day. Got the tricycle 706 and my tiny little disc mower that I don't think I showed any footage of. It's a Fella. It's one of them Italian jobs. Got it at a decent price from a local deer dealer, but it's only a 4-turtle. It is what it is. Really like this thing, except for sometimes stuff gets caught up around that, but it's nothing that you can't just drag through. Yeah, a little bit of wear, not bad. Tractor's running good. This is the junk we got to bale. Got over here late this year, just because this is actually a cemetery now. All of this is called Heritage Acres Cemetery. They do natural burials, kind of like a church group, or I don't know if it's necessarily a particular church as much, but it's definitely religious folk. And there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. I could definitely appreciate them wanting to be buried naturally, without embalming fluid and all that stuff. So everybody knows this middle field. That's all I got cut the other day. Thursday I got started late and I got half of it. Friday I was doing this half, and over in there I hit a dang ground hornet nest, and I mean like not friendly at all. Kept me stung me a few times, and I had to abandon my tractor for about an hour while they slowly swarmed away from it. This was a really good farm. It really was, but you see it now, and it's because they only let me cut it once a year, and well, it's always late. They want it cut as late as possible because they want it to look like natural prairie land. Well, you know, they're a couple years into that, and then they're like, oh, this looks terrible, and I'm like, yeah, that's because you're supposed to mow your grass. And you can also see they've got trails that actually lead back. There are people buried here. There legitimately are, but their headstones are flat to the ground, and they tell me just to mow over them. I really don't. Definitely don't drive over them, nothing like that. I would just not want to. I'd be devastated if I hit somebody's headstone. It's pretty much what that boils down to. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it should be, oh yeah, it needs raked. Still a little bit of green in it. But this half was laid down Thursday. That half was laid down Friday. I'm going to rake it all today. It's Sunday, and hopefully bale it Monday and Tuesday after work. Yeah, you can see all the milkweeds. I had gotten those almost all the way out of here. I don't know if I videoed it or not. It's been years ago when I first started doing this farm. When I first cut this entire hill right here, and the majority of that valley right there, it looked like a yellow sheet of milkweed leaves. They were that thick. Guess I just realized I forgot to nip that little piece. Sorry. So, yeah, I guess I'm gonna get started here. We'll get something raked up, and just figured I might bring you along or try to post more. You know, I hadn't posted a lot because the hay property I was at, those people were less than favorable members of society. They were probably great members of society. They were just a little, I don't know, a little too anal. Like, they wouldn't let me bring my equipment to the property if it had even sprinkled. And I mean sprinkled. Nope, you'll rut it up. Okay, well, fine then. So then it's a nice dry day, and they're like, well, why aren't you cutting? It's like, well, because I have to haul my equipment now because you wouldn't let me do that before. Yada, yada, yada. Probably just me complaining. It didn't work out. They were really nice people. Super anal about the weeds, but the fact of the matter is the weed seeds were there long before I was. So I will not be doing that 25 acres again. I might not even do this next year. I might either try to find another big property to rent, or I'm really just thinking about buying 40 or 50 acres. Is it what I want? No, I want like 300 acres. But I'm just getting really tired of landowners. You know, I didn't start farming, and I'm sure nobody that's watching this that farms, none of you started farming or do farming to listen to someone else. That's not how it is. my boss is the man upstairs, the earth, and myself, and my wife. Don't tell her that. But, you know, farmers, you know, I think they even named a chainsaw after it. Farm boss, you know. That's how it works. I don't take orders from anybody. You're not going to tell me what to do on your property if I'm paying you to rent it. You want to have me do special stuff? Give me the property for free. I'll bend over backwards for you. You want me to weed around your fence post? Sure, if it's free. But no, not when I'm paying. If I'm paying land rent, it should be done the way I see fit. You know. But maybe there's just a lack of trust in between the communities and the farmers. You know, I wouldn't hurt nobody's property. I wouldn't do anything to rut it up. And to be honest with you, this property right here I'm walking on, when it was the original owners years ago, I had made some ruts, and I got my fat ass out here in the sunshine with a shovel and filled them in. You know, I've done that where the soybean property is too. That's what you're supposed to do. Farmers are supposed to care for the land as if it were their own. But yeah, that was a little bit of a rant. I don't even think I was expecting that. Well, I guess now's a good time for an update through the video. So, sitting there with the B275, got a whole bunch done. I would say I'm like half done. And I have a curse that keeps coming back because I can't find the correct petcock for this thing. I don't know if it's because it's a diesel. I don't know if it's because it's a British diesel, but I have looked high and dry for a couple of years. And the problem is, you see all that wet down in here? The shutoff, like the actual thing you turn to turn the gas on and off, fuel, diesel, whatever, it leaks. And it doesn't leak enough to where, you know, like I filled this thing up a couple months ago and it's still half tank gas. It's really fuel efficient tractor, to be honest. But well, what happens is, as you're going, you know, this thing isn't like a gas tractor where the petcock and fuel system's predominantly gravity fed. It actually has a lift pump and an injection pump, meaning it's sucking from the tank. It sucks air through there, through the leak, essentially, and it'll collect in my fuel bowl, fuel filter. It would happen to be that I am the farthest away from the truck I could possibly be. But yeah, that's just what happens. It sucks air. Fuel filter gets, you know, starts catching all the bubbles and slowly runs out of power until it shuts off. And I noticed it when I backed up right here. I was turning around to go back, and yep, oops. Not really an oops, just a whoops all shit, I guess. Okay, so luckily enough, I was able to just hit the primer. Make sure this is shut all the way, yeah. I was able to hit the primer, the plunger that's on the side of that lift pump. I didn't even know that was a plunger until a while back a YouTuber told me. Yeah, that's the primer. I was able to hit that until, with the fuel cap off, I could hear fuel returning. And we'll go from there. Hopefully, I mean, it seems to be doing all right. Yep. So I guess I'll get back at it and hey, calm down here. She probably does still need manually bled. You know, like actually bled, not band-aided. But we've got plenty of band-aids on there, so. Speaking of that, I probably should have wiped off the radiator when I had the hood open. And it's covered, but it's not bad. Alright, so I'm down to my last little bit here. And how in the hell do you rake that? Like, I'm sure the video's showing that's a downhill, this is a downhill, that's an uphill valley. And everything's been going pretty good so far. You can see, all the way over to that tree line is where I'm at. And I always always try to follow the straightest fence row, if that makes any sense, which would be that one over there. That's why all those rows and all these windrows are all in the same line, you know, for the most part. I think I'm going to continue to keep going this way, but then when I get over to this corner, it's going to make turning around at the end of each windrow a pain in the ass on that hillside there. Or sometimes what I've done is when you run into a situation like that, just keep going up and back a few and then start going that way. Or maybe I'll just continue this pattern over till this becomes uncomfortable, and then I'll start going that way. Then I'll be left with a triangle right there. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. The ground hornets that got me are like right there, right at the top of that little crest. The good thing is I can change gears and fly with a rake attached a lot easier than a mower. So if I got to, we'll see. Alright, well, I'm on top of the tractor seat. If anybody knows where to find a B275 right side fender, let me know. Pretty much directly lined up with that little yellow flower in the last windrow you see, because there is a little bit more hay over there. I hit into that bee's nest again, and yeah, I ain't messing around with those. Not that I'm allergic. I just don't feel like, you know, trying to scrounge up one last little bale that's on the other side of that tree for, you know, 20 bee stings. $20 for 20 bee stings. That just doesn't sound like a good deal. But you can see there's valleys. We still can't technically see all the windrows from where we're at. You know, because these roll. But that's what all I've done today. I'm guessing it's 7:30. I started at 5 o'clock, raked for 2.5 hours. Of course, the tractor crapped out on me with those air bubbles once. But yeah, this hay isn't that bad. If you can see that field back there, it doesn't look like this, you know. And I guess this middle field was a mixture of the two. That back field's always been the best hay on the property, you know. But let's see if we can zoom in. Yeah, see how that's all just tan? It's, you know, late second, or second cutting time, but it's first cutting. It's just a super late first cut. And this stuff here is, it's just weeds now. I'm still gonna mow it maybe. There's a whole bunch of poor grass in it. Goldenrod, hemp dog, bane dog, hemper, no idea, whatever. Hemp dog bane, there's some of that in there. Yeah, or something in the dog bane family anyway. But yeah, I guess this will make a video, right? Something for people to see, know what I'm doing. Sorry for my rant earlier, I guess. But other than that, I've just been going through some mild depression. Whatever. Call it a midlife crisis, call it COVID, call it my dad dying. Call it all the things that you would like to call it. It's not going to bother me. It just is what it is. I really was thinking about it, and tractor time is good. If you ever have a chance, whether you're a farmer or not, hell, ride your lawnmower around for a couple hours. Just sit and think for a while you're doing some task. And I shouldn't be upset with my life. I just had a beautiful son. I have 2 other gorgeous kids that are mildly rotten but very well mannered. I've just got a raise in a foremanship position. You know, that's going to help the farming. You know, I know the goal behind farming is to make a ton of money. For the most part, it does. If I wanted to stop with what I have, I could be plenty profitable. But that money just always goes into, you know, the second combine, the skid steer, that newer hay mower I bought. And it is perfectly suited for that tricycle tractor. You know, I really don't know what I complain about. I don't know what a lot of people complain about. Maybe it's just human nature to bitch. But, yeah, if you're feeling down, what have you, take your tractor ride, lawnmower. I don't suggest walking around with a weed eater. That seems tiring. Maybe just a country cruise with the windows down. Drive 45 miles an hour and let everybody pass you because you don't have to do a shit during that moment. Anyways, if you like what you see, come on back. And I'd appreciate it. You can give me the thumbs up if you like it that much. You can give it the thumbs down. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you know where VP75 fender is. That'd be cool. Yeah, I got a bunch of meat chickens, meat turkeys. I have like 100 turkeys, or 100 chickens. I actually have about 150 chickens, only 10 turkeys. Yeah, it's just, just living life, raising a family. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.